What's up guys, this is my first official album review for Joey's new album, B4.Da. It just dropped January 20th. Just a little bit of background, Joey is a New York rapper from Brooklyn, New York City, and he's also the co-founder of the group B4.Da. He's released 3 mixtapes so far, one of my favorites being 1999, and this, B4.Da, is his debut album. So let's get started. Track 1, Save the Children, was pretty decent. It talked a little bit about paving the way, obviously, for the children and the future generations. It was a decent intro type song and really got the album flowing. Track 2, Greenbacks, was called the Interlude and pretty much just flowed from our first track to our third track and really just trying to get us into the feel of the album. Track 3 was called Paper Trails and was notably produced by DJ Premier, which is a producer, a really well-known producer, and one of my favorite producers actually. Notably, the song brought up Cream from Wu-Tang, Cash Rules Everything Around Me, but Joey put his own flip on it by changing it to Cash Ruined Everything Around Me. I thought it was pretty clever and it was a decent all-around, a decent track. Track 4, Peace of Mind, was actually one of my favorite tracks on the album. The song's about one of Joey's friends who's in jail, and he's asking him about the outside world and basically what's up, and Joey's responding by telling him a little bit about his environment, politically and socially, what's going on. It also had one of my favorite verses from the album, which is, "Instead I let the words play with 90 beats a minute, bet the streets lose a heartbeat before the verse finish," which I thought was a great verse, and it was definitely one of my favorite verses on the album, but there were plenty of other great verses to watch out for as well. Which brought us to track 5, Big Dusty, produced by Kirk Knight, and it was one of the first grimier, more intense songs on the album. From the singles released from the album, I expected the album to sound more like this, but it really was a more laid-back album for the most part. Track 6, Haze's View, was an alright track. I think the most notable thing about it was a little more introspective, and he talked a little bit about a fellow B4.Da member, Capital Steez, who passed away in 2012. Track 6, Like Me, what got me excited right off the bat was that it was produced by J Dilla and The Roots, which you really can't go wrong with that. And as was expected, the track instrumentally wise was a great track. Lyrically wise, it was alright. It talked a little bit about Joey's dangers and him growing up, but mostly the instrumental part was what got me excited as far as that track goes. Track 8, Belly the Beast, was actually a little bit of a disappointment to me. Produced by Hit Boy, and I'm a huge Hit Boy fan, and there really aren't too many bad, if any, bad Hit Boy beats, but this one was a little bit, I don't know, I just expected more out of it, especially percussion-wise in this one. Kinda cool, it talked a little bit about Joey's Jamaican roots. It featured Chronics on it as well, and I mean, it was alright, but honestly, I don't think it should have made the cut as far as this album goes. Track 9, Number 99, was a pretty typical track as well. I think one of the biggest things about it was the recognizable scenario sample that A Tribe Called Quest also used. Track 10, Christ Conscious, was also the first single off this album that was released. Probably also one of my favorite songs. A lot of clever lines, especially regarding Dragon Ball Z, and very, very cool music video as well. You know, a good flow on this one, and actually a funny story about the beat. None of the beats that his producers were making were really fitting with him, so he looked up himself, type beat on YouTube, and he clicked on the first one and he liked it, so he bought that beat, and that's how we got track 10. Track 11, On and On. I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that Joey said that he's an Erykah Badu fan, and so obviously there's a song by Erykah Badu with the same title, so definitely some influence there. Again, touching on the ideas of some of his friends passing away and really not knowing what the future holds for him. Track 12, Escape 120. Now this track really was something because it has I wasn't really feeling the beat. It was alright, and it was a pretty weak hook, one of the weakest hooks I think off the album. and Joey really, his verse isn't that good, so I pretty much had given up on the song. But it also features a rapper named Rari, and I honestly had not heard of him before, and so I really was kind of had given up on the song halfway through, and he comes in and he sounds just like Andre 3000, and I looked online a little bit, and apparently that Andre has been a little bit of a mentor to this rapper, but I had not heard of him, and he blew me away. I loved his verse and pretty much completely saved the song, and probably one of my favorite verses on the whole album, honestly, from him. Track 13, Black Beetles, again, really not a strong song. Weak hook, wasn't really feeling the instrumental, probably shouldn't have made the album. Track 14, OCB, talked a little bit about Joey being alone in his family wise, or really friend wise, and just in general. Again, an alright song, but maybe could have been left out as well. Track 15, Curry Chicken, talked a little bit about growing up, very soulful instrumental, probably one of my other favorite instrumentals off the album, and definitely it talks a little bit about him growing up with his mom. It was an alright song. I was really feeling the instrumental in that one though. Track 16, Run Up On Ya, featuring Action Bronson and Ellie Varner, and really just an okay song again. I don't know if it really could have made the cut, but I enjoyed the Action Bronson feature as well. Which brings us to the bonus track, track 17, Teach Me. The one thing I did enjoy about the song was that Joey switched up his flow to a more poppy, double time type flow. The instrumental was a lot poppier, super poppy hook. Let me teach you how to dance, I'm gonna show you how to dance. Honestly, it could have been a Taylor Swift hook. Sounded a little bit more like a Vic Mensa song, honestly, and it was an alright song. It was a cool, though, I mean, it was a bonus track, but it was cool to see them switch it up a little bit more. So honestly, overall, I have to rate this one a 7.2 out of 10. I really enjoy this album. I could definitely see it growing on me more. I love the instrumentals on here. The features were alright, but Joey really shined through. I really would have liked to see Joey maybe switch up his instrumentals a little more and his flow a little bit more, as well as the hooks on this album were decently weak for the most part. So there's definitely room for improvement. That being said, he just turned 20 years old on the date that this album dropped, so he's a very young rapper, and I definitely see a lot of potential in his upcoming albums. So yeah, definitely. Awesome. Okay, well, that ends the review. Also, quick note, if anyone enjoyed the laid-back styles on this album, and maybe you're in a jazzier mood, I just recently watched an Oscar-nominated movie, Whiplash, and I enjoyed it so much. So if you're into jazz, or if you really just need a movie to watch, I would definitely check that out. And if you don't feel like checking it out, but you're into jazz music, I would definitely check out the soundtrack as well. A lot of really good drumming on there, and just jazz music in general. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys, and you know, whatever, like, comment, show your mom and dad, anything, whatever. Okay, awesome, thanks for watching, bye.